And we are live. Hi, Jean McIntyre. We got some new mics, so we'll see if you guys can hear us or not. Hope you are all having a great Tuesday. JJ's wrapping up a couple of final things, and then he will be in here. Hi, Daniel. Hey, Coach's Pit Barbecue. Hope you guys are doing well. And Fred. JJ will be here in just a second. He is wrapping up a couple of things. It is like 80 degrees here. So beautiful, and we're stuck inside. Hi, Marty. Hi, Clay. How are you? Hope everybody is doing well. Wow, 77 people are already on. Yep, we're hanging in there too. Hi, Virginia. Yep, I did see your email. Hey, Jeff and Daniel and Gabriel. Nope, no, we're just going to answer questions that are emailed to us. jj@jjthecpahelp.com. So if you send them now, we might be able to get to them before the end of the show. So hurry up and get them sent in there. Hi, Tim. Hi, William. Hey, Blair. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. I'm so happy for you, Blair. Hi, David from Minnesota. Nancy. It's jj@jjthecpahelp.com. Already got 92 people on. You guys are awesome. I'm guessing that means that everybody can hear me. Hi, George from Miami. We have a Miami in Oklahoma, but it's called Miami. And if you are in Oklahoma and you pronounce it Miami, people know you're not originally from here. Christine from Maine. Darkwater Megs is on. Yay. PPP V2 is in the pipeline. Congrats to those that got PPP funding. Yeah, good luck. Good luck to those trying to get in line. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that. Daniel, the CPA, says that I need a raise. Hello from Texas. Hi, Steve. Hi, Patel. Yes, we need more thumbs up. There's only 10 there. 102 people. You guys are so awesome. We appreciate you guys so much. JJ for president. I agree. Florida's here. Tim's here. Brian's here. You guys are awesome. You're really, really awesome. That we never thought that it would continue like this. So we just think of you guys as our friends. We talk about you all the time. Another one from Miami in South Louisiana. I will make a great first president, Robert of Philadelphia Salons. I appreciate that. Yes, Robert is on. Linda's here. California. Kimberly from Houston, Texas. Yeah, you guys have got to wait to check up JJ's. They have to wait to see your outfit before they give you a thumbs up.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. He is looking pretty snazzy today. He's got an awesome shirt on from whenever we were in Tennessee. Tennessee? Are you ready? He's ready.
Thank you. Thank you for everybody that is here today. And you speak in your mic. So we've gotten fancy. Hope you all are doing well today. Great to see everybody. Robert, thank you for your recent email, and Tony and Mike, and really appreciate all the support. And I was glad that Robert's daughter obviously was tuning in yesterday. I didn't know if she was on or not, but meant a lot. Thank you.
We can't wait to meet everyone. Can everyone hear me? I have my own mic now.
We have dual mics. So, all right. We still are just using an iPhone, though, for our camera. So.
Yay, they can hear me.
So we've got a number of emails, and I've been talking with a lot of different CPAs and bankers. I talked to 2 bank presidents here in Oklahoma that I've been working with since the beginning, and It sounds like maybe in the Northeast, things are a little different. Oh, I needed to read. Things are a little different maybe than here. I don't know about in like Florida. I've talked with Tony down in Florida. But here the banks don't want the CPAs and the attorneys making interpretations of the forgiveness. I had one bank tell me, arrogantly, but it's because I know them, but they said, nope, we are judge, jury, and executioner in the sense of the PPP. And then as it relates to, your food. My food? Yeah, hadn't finished my food, dang it. But as it relates to the forgiveness, I've been doing videos saying, hey, you need to check with your bank. Here's the guidelines. What's going to be included. Here's the best that we know. The banks are taking even a more conservative approach, some of them, by saying, here's not a list. We're not going to give you a list. We're not going to give you a formula. Then other banks are saying, no, here is the worksheet. Here are the things that count. So on my website, jjthecpahelp.com, in the forgiveness page, I do have what the SBA has put out on the 3rd, 6th, 14th. They did do one on the 8th, but it only added a question, and I didn't add that. And then I've come up with a calculation for the sole proprietor, and then the calculation for the employers is really just following the law, and then I didn't finish it. And I've had 2 different CPAs, one that they took the 4 a.m. challenge, and I have not been able to look at theirs. But, we've got PPP2. So, hey, I appreciate that, Fred. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yes, thumbs up. Thumbs up. We're not watching a car accident here. All right, so $480 billion relief package. I am reading this just because it's really just happened in the last, probably 90 minutes. I did put up 3 quick videos that I'll talk about here in a second. What I really like is that there must have been, hello, Kim. There must have been a lot of us that the shark still looks fake on PPP2. That's Clay. I always put thumbs up in the comment section.
Hard Shop said he got the koozies and stuff today.
Oh, awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. So when we're looking at PPP2, one of the big questions is, it's saying that there's going to be $60 billion for small business, for small banks. And so I had said, when we went live, after I learned some news specifically about Jason, who's on, and some others that had their application in since day one and then didn't get the funding. And I shot some videos, and I didn't get a lot of views on them. So there's no way it was because of me. But the few that heard what I said, you all that heard what I said, there's a number of you that indicated, you did a tweet, or you sent a message, or you put something on Facebook, and then it sparked other people. And I'm sure there was a lot of other people thinking what we were already thinking. But my point is this: we were heard, right? Everywhere people were thinking the exact same thing, which was, are you kidding? Hey, we've got someone from Hawaii. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Maybe they want to be a part of the reality show.
So yeah, and thank you for that. Yeah, and so I think all of us maybe felt that pain, and so sometimes when you think about it, because I've got friends that are state senators, or they were a lieutenant governor, or they were a governor, or they are now a congressman, or they were a congressman, or they now are a senator, on and on. And they said, you'll be surprised, because if we get 10 messages on something, it's like, wow, people are really thinking about this. It's almost like 10 people probably represent 1,000 constituents, per. And then, I'm going to talk about the EIDL here, coaches, real quick. Coaches, did you get denied on the EIDL, if you don't mind me asking? But as it relates to this funding, the small business and the small banks were heard. And $60 billion for small businesses hopefully will go not as quick, but what I'm reading, and I don't know what anybody's basing this on, But what I've been reading is that,
Yes, that denied for EIDL and approved for PPP.
okay. What I'm reading, and you gotta remember this is just initial reports, but that PPP2 will be gone in 24 hours. Now I don't know if that means for the small business, okay? But here's what we wanna do is, we need to find out immediately what is a small bank. You know, like what qualifies as a small bank. More to say, so like the guy, you know, Jason, you know, whatever bank you were at, is it a small bank? Is it considered a small bank? Matthew Conrad, EIDL arrived today?
For my life, 10,000. Thanks, JJ. We
Oh.
reapplied and it worked the second
Oh,
time.
nice.
I
Yeah.
applied the second time on 4/10.
Oh, wow. Okay, good. So if we know we've got 60 billion going to the small banks, but then check this out. See, I don't know we'll have to get some details on this, but I loved this. So we have 60 billion to small banks and to the small business, but I wanted to verify the number here. So let me pull up the article. But I believe we have 75 billion going to hospitals and health, 25 billion to facilitate and expand the testing, 25 billion in addition going to research, 11 billion to the states. But then I thought it said 175 billion. Where is it? Maybe it wasn't in this article. Do you remember seeing something about 175 billion to the rural?
Yeah, I read it too.
Hang on. I just want to make sure I get my number right. But in addition to the 60 billion, there is 175 billion that has been, I don't see it in that article, so I want to verify the number. 175 billion set aside, and check this out. The language, now I think it was Senator Schumer that used this language, said there's 175 billion set aside for the rural banks, the rural businesses, and for those that don't have a banking connection, right? So there was a lot of, you know, people that were reaching out and, you know, on messages and whatnot. And thank you, Daniel. I really appreciate that, fellow CPA.
That must have been in the other article.
The other article. You want to see if you can find, I'd like to know that number if we could. But from the standpoint of, it was clear to everybody what a lot of you were saying or hearing, which was you're going to a bank and they said, you have to have a banking relationship with us. Okay, that makes sense. But then they were saying, but you have to have a business account. Or Chase saying you had to have, Tony, I'm not sure on that one. On that, Schedule C should just be is all that's needed. But bottom line is that those that didn't have a connection, those that didn't have a business account, those that didn't have a loan, got put in a situation where then the banks are saying, sorry, we can't help you. I actually was on a webinar right before this with a group of friends, and we talk about COVID-19 things. It's with Justin McCall of CPA is the mastermind behind it, and Juan Garcia. We also do JX4, which is a show we do once a week on YouTube. But bottom line is that if we can get ourselves in a situation where now we can apply for it, you now want to make sure, though, you're at the right bank. Is it a bank that's going to qualify? Do they need another application? And I know that right now it's like, well, the president hasn't even signed it yet, but it's supposed to be hours away. We don't know the date that it's going to be available. I'm assuming it won't be like tomorrow. Maybe. I doubt it. But the one thing is that we've got to figure out, does the bank qualify? And here's the other thing, is that it's kind of a new strategy. Let's say, for instance, you are at a bank, you were in line and you didn't get funding. I think you want to leave your application with them. You probably want to follow up. Do you need anything new? I did a video saying, repackage your entire application. Maybe they come out with a new app, right? New questions, whatever, but have everything ready to go. Even if you send it, even if you're like, oh, well, they have a copy of it. I'd get it all ready to go again. If they asked for additional information, pull that in, have your whole package ready to go. Ask them, are you going to need something new? Where am I in line? And then you need to follow up with them. You know, like Jason, I'm sure he would, but I mean, who cares if they're upset on round 2, right? I mean, 10 a.m. Hey, I'm just making sure you have everything you need. Where are we at in the process? 2 o'clock. Hey, where are you at? Do you have everything you need? And where am I in the process? Has it gone through yet? Has it gone through yet? You know, last time you didn't get it through, you told me that it would. Where are we at on that? Okay, talk to you again at 4 o'clock. Hey, just double checking, is it through? Because I gave you the information. You know, I was talking to somebody and they were number 7 at the bank. Like they had their application in that quick. They were number 7 and it took 2 weeks for them to actually get approved and then get their funding. And I think they just got their money. So I don't know if it was the politicians that said it, but the language that I was using was being said, not that I invented the language or came up with the concept, but that it was discriminatory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, these banks that were saying, you know, it has to be at least $100,000 of a loan request, or you have to have the lending. And I do think, I mean, I already heard there's lawsuits going on because, you know, what was then the ordering, because it was literally in the SBA rules, interpretations of first come, first serve. So this PPP2, I know creates some more angst, but remember this, if you're in line, don't just assume you're in it. If you have an application in, don't just assume that that's the same one, okay? If you're in a situation where, and when I talk about strategy here, let's just think strategy. Where's a rural bank around you? Okay, do you have to drive an hour to a rural bank? Do you got to drive 2 hours, 3 hours, start asking around, put it on Facebook? Who's got a good relationship at a rural bank? Because tomorrow, on the 22nd, I'm going to go open a bank account with them. And if I'm a sole proprietor, I'm going to go open a business bank account with them. I'm going to have my DBA. I'm going to get that account open. I'm going to put $100 in or $500. I'm going to become a customer. Okay, tomorrow at a rural bank. Okay, and then it says it really doesn't matter what bank you go to. Well, I appreciate the comment, but millions of people went to banks that were their clients, or it was where they had been banking, and they said, sorry, can't go. But in the new one, I appreciate the comment, but in PPP2, they are distinguishing between small banks. They're distinguishing, from what I understand without reading it, rural banks. So I appreciate the comment, but I'm going to say very strongly, it does matter what bank you go to. It is going to matter what bank you go to. You need to do your homework now. If you're at Chase, you need to go to another bank. Maybe you keep it in line, but you need to go to another bank most likely. How do you get to go to another bank? You need to be a customer of the bank. So what are you doing? Tomorrow you're setting up an account, right? I know you can't go in, but there's probably ways you can do it online. If Square was doing it, PayPal was doing it, Intu was doing it, maybe set up a PayPal account tonight. Okay, so listen, if you're not in a panic over it, then you probably don't really need it, and so don't worry about it, okay? But for those that have been tuning in, those that were counting on it and didn't come, we got an email from somebody that found out last Thursday. They're supposed to do payroll yesterday. They found out last Thursday they didn't get the funding. They've been keeping their employees on, saying, hey, we got the funding. The bank said we're good. Here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. And then it did it. So for those individuals, for those businesses, then I think we want to make sure. And then, I don't know that there's anything wrong right now. If you're in line at another bank, I don't know that you want to submit 2 applications. Well, let me be clear. You shouldn't submit 2 applications. But if you've got a bank you're in line with and they're not acting on it and they're not giving you the money, because this was really meant to be like 48-hour turnaround. And the bank that I'm at personally, 24-hour turnaround. 48-hour tops, like money in the bank, boom, here you go. Anyways, get another banking relationship now, okay? Set up the business account now. Because what I heard was, it was almost like the messages and the comments that I were getting and the emails, it was almost like the small business owner, the sole proprietor, the self-employed, kind of driving around aimlessly, is the picture I got in my head of, well, they said I didn't have a business account. They said that I had to have a loan with them. So what do I do? What do I do? And kind of stunned. So let's not be stunned on this one, because if it is gone quick, okay, then it's going to be gone quick, but have a backup plan. So go open an account at another bank so that then you are a customer. And then on the EIDL, so if you've been following my videos here for a while, you know that before PPP 1, I was talking about, should you go get EIDL? Because the rules were, if you had EIDL, it was a recapture. The way it was recaptured is part of your loan for PPP wasn't forgiven. And then, of course, then they stopped doing them for a while. And then it was based on the number of employees. And then all of a sudden now it seems like EIDL money is coming out, which is great. So my point is that they've also indicated 60 billion, which the way I read the article, you gotta remember, I'm just relying on articles right now, but the way I read the article was that it was to EIDL, 60 billion. So I do know there are a lot of my clients that didn't qualify for PPP, like, didn't have the wages. They had gone for the PPP, didn't get any because they didn't have employees. Or maybe they just decided, I don't know. I don't know if I really want to do it. And then they waited and they're like, I think I want to do it. And then it ran out. So on the EIDL, I don't know what the rules are. We haven't seen them yet, in the sense of, if you go for PPP2, can you go for EIDL? Because my whole thing was that you use up PPP. If you needed money, then you got EIDL. Then it became kind of clear that if you got EIDL, as long as you used it for other purposes, you could use EIDL. All I'm saying is this: if they're coming out with EIDL and you need the money, right? So let me be clear. If you need the money, your business is not open, it is struggling, you're not having money to pay other things other than your PPP, or you didn't get PPP, you need to be almost on the SBA.gov website, going to the COVID-19 submission page, which right now says funds have lapsed. And like your kid playing a video game, you need to be refreshing it. Or like when you were 17 and you're trying to get concert tickets to Madonna, or Air Supply or Poison, and well, I guess if it was Air Supply, we didn't have internet. Point is, remember, anything that you wanted and you'd refresh, or you'd call again and busy signal, call again, busy signal, call again. And I'm not talking about right now, but as soon as we hear that they have released funds, if you want to get on the EIDL, you want to do it ASAP. If you feel like you got a bank that you can get your money with, then you need to go ahead and make sure you're in line, follow up, document it. Don't just take their word for it, as in, okay, hey, it's been 48 hours, I don't have my money, so where are we at on this? And then if you feel like that bank's not doing it, then go apply at a different bank and then get the information to them. And then when that small bank or that rural bank, you say, hey, listen, are you going to submit it? You think I'm good? Yeah, we got everything. We're going to submit it. All right. Then you call your other bank and you say, all right, hey, FYI, I'm applying over here. Or maybe you wait till this one gets, you're going to have to make your own decisions on that. I can't tell you how to do it, but yes, I think you need to teeter-totter here. I think you can do it carefully to keep yourself legal. But if you need it and you're desperate and you don't want to put your hopes and dreams back on the bank that didn't get it for you or let you down the first time, I don't know that you just cut and run from that bank because you're already in the pipeline. They already probably feel bad that you didn't get the funding. But hear me when I'm saying this, it appeared to be, and I'll have other videos on this, a difference in the fact that they're going to be rural banks, okay, that are going to somehow have another qualification. So I don't know if that means savings and loans or credit unions or something like that. So as soon as we figure that out, go open a new bank account. You put $100 in. They're going to be happy. Okay, and don't think, if I go to a rural bank, which for me is 10 minutes away, even though I'm in Oklahoma City. Adrian got the T-shirt. You're welcome. You're welcome.
I got the number.
You got the number? What is it?
It says of the $321 billion for small businesses, $60 billion is set aside for those that are underbanked and cannot access traditional lines of credit. It'll be $60 billion.
Oh, it's just $60 billion? So it's $60 billion and $60 billion?
Yeah, and
well, I thought it said $60 billion for EIDL, $60 billion for...
Well, this is updated as
Is it updated?
Yeah, and the Senate just passed it, and the House plans to vote on the measure Thursday.
Oh, we have to wait till Thursday?
That's just
The House is gonna make us wait till Thursday?
that's just a screenshot because you took the phone too fast.
Oh, okay.
You got.
You can't get back to the article.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Going to, but you took it the phone.
Phew. All right, well, let me tell you this. Go open a bank tomorrow, the rural bank. You find that bank that's got like 1 or 2 locations, go open an account there. Listen, desperate times call for desperate measures, okay? If the money's gonna be gone in 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, and 4 days, whatever the case is, Tony saw your message there that, you gave him a 2019 Schedule C. Well, I mean, if you go to the qualifications right there at SBA on the 14th of April, it says right there, you take a Schedule C, line 31 times 2.5, or divided by 12 times 2.5, period, the end. Before that, it was Schedule C line 1, or it was the 1099s, and you got to include the health insurance, and then SBA came out and was like, nope. And then the SBA also came out and said, hey, if you're a partner, and you get a K-1, just apply for it up at the partnership level, and instead of down at the individual level. So, while we're going 200 miles an hour, and at that point, what are we in? 1, 5, or like the 8th day in, SBA comes out and says, hey, it's only gonna be line 31. So the only thing that changed from what I was thinking was that it was line 31 plus then the health insurance benefits. And the banks I was working with, well, I think I only have one client that was a Schedule C that we did it through, and they didn't even have that. But nonetheless, if your bank's telling you now that that's why it didn't go through, I don't know that has anything to do with it, because with the SBA saying what it is at the tail end, if you're at the tail end, then that should have qualified. So Schedule C for 2019, line 31, and Tom indicated, someone that we email with, had indicated that they're going to go with 2019 Schedule C. So that's my other message. I haven't been able to get that video up, is that if you haven't done Schedule C for 2019, there's no more asking, should I do it, or will they take 2018? You need to do 2019 Schedule C. So I'm going to re-release some videos I did about how you can do your Schedule C, which is the same as if a salon stylist told their client to go cut their own bangs, but if that client is out in a raft in the middle of the ocean and the stylist, the hair professional, is unable to get to them, and the only way they can get to shore is to cut their own bangs, that hairstylist, that professional, is going to say, here's how you cut your own bangs. If it ain't perfect, who cares? You're on your raft, you're getting to shore. Okay? So if your tax professional can't get Schedule C done by tomorrow, you need to be preparing your 2019 Schedule C, and it's just not that hard. So I've got several videos. I'm going to repackage them and throw them up so that they're fresh. But at the end of the day, get with your professional, go to, and I've never recommended this in my entire life, but for PPP purposes, if you have to use a software, a do-it-yourself software to do your to do your Schedule C, then you need to do it. And the reason is that's what they're taking for 2019, is that Schedule C, period, the end, for sole proprietors, okay? So the Schedule C videos that I put together that you can see talk about, here are the expenses, and, one of the things is whatever you submit to the SBA, whatever you submit to the banks for your Schedule C, you have to submit that to the IRS, and period. You've said this is true and correct for these purposes, bank. You can't say, oh, well, then it's something different, true and correct for the IRS. And so I know that on those videos, people will have comments of like, well, I don't know if this makes sense. You shouldn't be preparing a Schedule C for the loan purposes. And my wonderment is, okay, are you the person who's making this comment? Okay, are you in desperate measures? Like, are you in desperate measures here? And I understand it's like, well, you got to weigh the tax, but let's think of this. If you're not trying to take every deduction under the sun on your Schedule C, and you're not stretching it, right? You're not stretching it. And my whole video talking about all of it is talking about that. It's saying maybe don't stretch it, because a lot of people that do Schedule C, I don't mean they're stretching it in a bad way, but they're stretching it. They're, you know, because you have more liberal rules, so to speak, to be able to do that. So know this: you do the Schedule C for line for 2019, line 31 divided by 12 times 2.5. There it is. So you can run your own math, if you will. Nothing requires you to take deductions. You are required to report your income. As it relates to startup costs and things to that effect, you'll just have to run the numbers and make a decision for yourself. But know this: 2019 Schedule C, best we can tell, will be the only thing that they will accept for the sole proprietor or self-employed. Now, if you're an independent contractor, which just means you don't take expenses, you get 1099s and you don't take expenses, well, then it can go by the 1099s, but then you don't get to go and buy, you don't get to then, when you go to take your tax return, take tax deductions, okay? So whatever you're putting in on this loan, you are stuck with it, period, the end. And I've had people say, well, hey, can I go and amend my return that I already filed to then put a better number on my application? And I mean, all I can tell you is what I think, what my opinion is, and the opinion would be no. You've already filed the return. I mean, you've made your stance. That's what it is. Can you technically go and amend a return and then use that amendment? You turn down the air. Use that amendment to then get a loan? Well, I guess you could, but at the same time, you could also watch the neighbor getting ready to go get some cash out of the ATM machine, see what their ATM code is, and then somehow pickpocket it, get the ATM card, go put it in the machine, use their code, give it back to them before they realize it, but you only took 20 bucks. So anyways, you got to remember, I'm a CPA. I'm only going to tell you what it is that I think. I'm only going to tell you what I think is completely of CPA nature. So let's see. All right. Just reading a couple things here. Thanks, Tina, for helping. Really appreciate it, as always, so much. Okay, so they're telling you to sign the tax return. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, probably the reason they want you to sign that tax return is so that they feel like maybe they got some assurances that is actually what is going to occur. On the employee retention credit, nothing new on that. I've been watching. I haven't seen anything new from the IRS. You know, the big thing I'm waiting for is what is going to be the effective date. Now, it may just be that it's 10 million BC to 12/31/20. In that, if you take PPP, then you don't get the ERC. And I had indicated that, hey, when PPP ran out, you should take a look at the ERC. There might be PPP2. If there's going to be PPP2, then, you know, if you took the ERC, then you're going to potentially have a recapture on that. So at the end of the day, nothing new on the ERC. I do feel confident you can't use PPP funds for the EIC. Thank you so much, Jeff. I appreciate that. Large. I appreciate that, Jeff. Someone's sending me a t-shirt.
I saw that. I was replying. Coaches is going to send us some of their signature dry rub.
Oh my God, for real.
I know.
Nice.
I'm excited.
Well, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. He's got our address.
Yeah, because we
probably
mail
email.
Stuff. Remember?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Has he emailed us? I'd rather give him a different address from what we mailed it from. Coach's Barbecue, will you send us an email, jj@jjthecpahelp.com. If you're sending that, I'm going to give you a different address so that it gets to me instead of sitting at the office. Yes, so Jeff, jj@jjthecpahelp.com. Thank you, Coach's Barbecue. I love it. Hey, and was Coach's the one that had the hat?
Yes, he had a hat in his
Oh, if we could get a hat, we would be wearing it. I would be wearing it. Let's see. Yeah, if you don't have payroll, you won't be able to do the ERC. It's just based on W-2 wages. All right, what do we got? Oh, need your phone back. All right, we're going to the questions.
Going to the questions.
And then remember on PPP forgiveness, if it's a very general question, that's kind of the overall law, but if it's specific scenarios, I just really want you to, hey, thank you for that. I appreciate that. And someone said, I've been their savior. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So we won't be answering anything specific scenarios for PPP forgiveness because you really want to talk with your bank.
Okay, our first question is from Steve. I received...
You don't have to talk as loud. You got your microphone.
Oh, I have a microphone on. I'm sorry, guys. I received X amount of dollars from my EIDL and X amount of dollars from PPP. What is the required for EIDL loan amount forgiveness? You're not answering those. Is it true that you have to spend 75% of your PPP loan on payroll? What if your payroll will not accommodate that? Can you hire during this 8 weeks? Can you give raises during this 8 weeks? Is there certain employees that only qualify for the 8 weeks? Can I give myself or my spouse a raise to make sure we spend 75% on payroll during the 8 weeks?
Those are all the questions I'm not going to really answer. So I'm not going to speak to any of those specifically, okay? But what I will answer the question is just on the inverse. And if you're emailing them, tell them to please check out the forgiveness page on my website. You know, the issue there is that you have a set of circumstances where your payroll is based on the last 12 months. So you've come up with an average on your application, which obviously, I read the shady CPA comment, which obviously is, what was the shady comment? Can you read it? Your average payroll over the last 12 months.
JJ, do the shady CPA
Oh.
on the teleprompter when discussing PPP.
Okay. Boy, now I'm on the spot on that one. You have an average on your application of your wages over the last 12 months. And so, I mean, it's probably not going to represent exactly what it is right now specifically. And so when you're looking at your loan, the first thing you want to look at, Steve, right? Mm-hmm. Steve, do the math. Okay, you need to watch the videos. Please do. And the reason I'm saying that is the one that's called the crazy calculation. For sure, read that one. I think it says boogeyman on it. But you take your loan times 75%. Okay, and then your payroll costs include. I was talking with Tony about this. It includes the gross pay, the employer paid health insurance, the employer paid retirement, and the SUDA, okay? All together. That's what's going to arrive at your 75% figure of the loan, right? And then if you're not reaching it, what you want to avoid is just creating circumstances to reach it. And the reason for that is that when you're looking at head counts, when you're looking at the head count and salaries that go back to February 15th of 2019 to 6/30/19, you're looking at 1/1/20 to 2/29/20. You're looking at what it was on February 15th of 2020. You're looking February 15th, 2020 to April 27th, 2020. You're looking at the 56 days. Now, everybody seems to want to hang their hat on 1106D5. which just says if you hire everybody back, okay, then you don't have to worry about head counts and all that good stuff. True. So if you don't let anybody go, you don't have to worry about some of that stuff. So this is what I've just been telling people. If it's raise time normally, if always in April or early May you give raises, then you give raises. I don't think it would make sense to give yourself a raise. You're going to need to talk to the bank. One banker that I've talked to, president, thinks that this will all be, that the Treasury will buy up all the loans, and then you'll be talking to an IRS agent about it. You'll be talking to a U.S. Secret Service agent. You're going to be talking to a U.S. Treasury agent. And so what you want to think about is, if you walk in, what would you say if, and I understand you're not trying to do anything shady, But what would you say if you had someone walk in and you said, hey, here's $100 grand, spend it on what you need, and then come show me all the records, and if you spend it the way we said, you don't have to pay me back. Or whatever you didn't, just pay back that portion. And you look and you're like, okay, so you gave yourself a raise, did you? Well, why'd you do that? You're the owner of the business, you're in the middle of a crisis, your business isn't open. Would it be reasonable for a business to give anybody a raise in the middle of a crisis with the business not open? Why did you give yourself a raise? Why did you give these other employees as a raise? You're closed, so why did you hire people? Or if you're open and you have two people that said, hey, I'm not working for you, I'm going on unemployment, and then you need two people to come in, well, of course you can bring two people to come in. So you just make good business decisions. But this will be the new idea for the video is, what decisions would you make if it wasn't money from the government and you were in the middle of a crisis? What decisions would you make? And make those. So I'm not able to answer any of those specifically, not even because I think you're trying to do anything wrong. It's just that that's not what it's designed for. And I did talk with a client earlier today, and they actually thought if they didn't meet the 75%, that none of it was going to be forgiven. And so I was like, well, no. You know, because they were like, do we need to hire some people? Do we? I was like, no. You know, not at all. Because if you didn't meet it, you know, like, let's say that you spent 74%, you know, 70% on it on payroll, and you just have some of that money left over, you just hand it back. It doesn't at all mean that you won't be able to.
All right, our next question is from Amy. Hello, and thanks for all the hard work. I'm an S corporation. I am the only owner in my corporation with one employee this year. I have an SEP plan only for me, no employees. For year 2019 tax, we deducted 25% of my wages. My question is, do I add this SEP amount to the total payroll I calculated for the last 12 months to come up with a number that needs to be divided by 12? I have health insurance that is under my name, not my corporate name. I pay for it out of my business account on a monthly basis. Can I add it to the total as well?
So yeah, thank you for the email and the compliments. Yeah, as an S-Corp owner, you know, you're going to treat yourself the way that you would treat any other employee. And believe it or not, when I read through, I thought for sure it would be limited to 401k or like a simple plan match. But when you read the law, and then whenever you read anything related to the SBA, it doesn't ever correct it, that whatever you've been regularly doing, what you've already been doing, you can't decide now, oh, I'm going to do a SEP now. But whatever you were doing in the past, that you would be able to continue to do. So if you did 25%, someone's asking if you can block DJ E Slick.
I'll put him
Tina,
in timeout. I don't think that he's a troll.
Okay.
He just likes to talk a lot.
Okay. That was Tina Beard that was asking. Let's see. You want to treat yourself the same that you would treat anybody else. In the sense of, if you were doing that already, right, and you did the full 25%, then it very well may qualify. I do think that it reads on the health insurance, you know, the employer plan, but then it says including, or it says a group plan including health insurance premiums. So the real answer is to ask your bank, because that's who's going to provide the forgiveness for you. That will be who is going to look over your documents, do the calculation. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you're paying yourself the payroll you've already paid. You pay your rent, you pay your utilities. If you have a loan, you pay that. You pay your SUDA. And then, you know, if you included those costs, you know, in your payroll costs to arrive at your loan, then it seems reasonable that you would continue to do that. So I haven't seen anything new on that. It's just that I would prefer you check with the bank on that before you spend the dollars, because you know as well as I do, you don't have to spend the SEP but one time, so to speak. And then same thing on the health insurance, you're already paying the health insurance. So check with your bank on that, but good questions. Thank you. Jermaine, thank you so much.
All right, I'm just replying to a couple of people that asked about forgiveness, telling them to just go to your website. You weren't answering those
Yeah.
questions.
So the last two have been about PPP forgiveness and questions that I am not wanting to answer.
Well, I didn't know that you didn't want to answer the one about how to calculate their number, so.
Yeah, anything related to PPP that says forgiveness, can I use these numbers? Can I use that number? Can I give a raise? I've already answered all I'm going to answer today.
And Jeff, when a self-employed person who doesn't qualify for regular unemployment benefits applies for PUA, should they be filing in the state they live in or the state the business is registered in? I have a client that lives in Pennsylvania but has a business registered in New Jersey.
You know, I think that would probably depend on where the individual pays their individual taxes. But I don't know that I know the real answer to that. I would probably start with them filing in the state that they're a resident of. That seems to make the most sense, but it sure could make sense that they would file where their business is. But at the same time, if it's a sole proprietor, while their business may be located there, you know, as a sole proprietor, they're not paying in any kind of state unemployment tax, given that it's federal, as well as, you know this, federal being that it's, you know, nationwide, the same for everybody. It may not technically matter, but I would kind of feel like maybe where they're a resident would be maybe my thought process on that. So that would be my thought. So appreciate the question on that.
Greg, you mentioned on one of your videos that you were doing a video on the accounting part of PPP and or the EIDL. When might that be up? Got my money and want to make sure I'm applying it correctly.
Love it, and I've got it as a note. I just have not had time, but I'll tell you what, I will make time to get that done within the next 24 hours. In fact, I will set an alarm, so I appreciate that. Yeah, because I've had a number of people that have asked about that.
Make sure that you guys are giving thumbs up. Make sure that you are subscribed. You just need to talk to them while I find something.
Okay, you want me to peruse it?
Mm-mm.
So let me ask you this: if anybody got my, oh right, Brian Graves got my JJ the CPA T-shirt. I love it. I appreciate that. And I haven't forgot about you. I'm now up on my emails to probably over 500 that I haven't actually even been able to digest. But you know, I've gotten a number of questions that are related to already just with the groups that I'm in talking with when we're talking about PPP2. So a couple of things: if the rules haven't changed, if you have a partnership and you didn't get the PPP2, you're going to want to apply at the partnership level, which is to say, if you had an application in and you were doing it at the individual level and it was based on your K-1 from the partnership, the way that the SBA came out on the 14th of April is that you will need to file that PPP application under the partnership name. And a number of banks are indicating that it doesn't matter about what's on box 1 or box 14, that's self-employment income. What matters is what's in box 4A, which is guaranteed payments. So bottom line is that, let's see, someone got approved for PPP?
No, they just said that.
I just emailed the bank asking where things were on my approval process, and they said you didn't need a relationship. Awesome. Yeah, so, you know, just probably across the nation, probably just depends on, you know, if you got my PPP DD today, but the start date's 4/17. Well, you just have to talk to the bank, because the way the SBA ruled that was that it's the date that the funds are dispersed. So if they've said the 17th, then they were technically dispersed on the 17th, and so you'll have to go with whatever the date's telling you. So thank you, DJE Slick.
Debbie says, I got my $1,000 in EIDL money this morning. Back when I applied for it, I don't remember checking the box for the advance. Now that I've gotten it, what exactly is it? Is this an advance or is it a loan? If it's a loan, I don't want to use it and go into debt for booth rent. This has been, so far, I've had no communication with SBA at all.
Well, if you went online and you did the if you did the SBA application at the SBA website and you went to the EIDL, which is also the COVID-19, then you are most likely falling into where that would be in advance. If it was a loan portion, you would have done that through the bank. So above the 10,000, you can do an SBA Express up to 25,000, but that's through a bank that is an SBA lender. So, you know, honestly, I don't want to tell you either way because I don't really want to be wrong in terms of you using it, but it walks and talks and feels and looks like a regular old EIDL. If you didn't work with the bank, you didn't talk to a human, you went on the website, you got your SBA confirmation number when you were done, and then this $1,000 showed up. If you put down one employee and you got $1,000, sure feels like you are safe, that is EIDL money that you won't have to pay back.
Shout out to Paul. He got $10,000
Oh,
in
nice.
EIDL funds deposited after he applied on March 30th. He needed PPP. Shout out to Carol. She said, just a quick note that $8,000 showed up in my client's bank account this morning with no prior notice.
Awesome. Is this live right here?
Yeah.
How do I get to it?
Get to it.
Oh, am I at it right now? Okay. Do the comments go below too? No. All right. I'm going to try. Let's see. It only goes back so far. Let's see. In New York, 300. What else you got? You got some others?
No, nothing. Nothing you can answer. I'll just reply back and say you're not answering this.
Okay. Well, can I see the emails? Let me see the emails. They already got a automatic reply saying that if it's related to the forgiveness or the unemployment, that I won't be replying.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we are good there. Okay. Oh, so Tracy. Let's see. Oh, book just arrived. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate that. Doing the first PPP payroll tonight. I set up 4 payroll items. So PPP salary, PPP actual, PPP regular rate, PPP actual OT, PPP premium. Yeah, I like it. And then another issue people may be running into, as I have, are the sick leave and family leave credits overlapping the PP period. So on that, it specifically states in the law that if you are, if you're taking the credits, then you're in a situation where that's not going to count as payroll costs. So it doesn't say that you can't take them. It's just that it's not going to count as the payroll costs. So if you were to take the credit and it's $2,000, so you got the credit, it reduced down your taxes. Therefore, when you're going to do PPP forgiveness time, it's like, what was your payroll, okay? And then it doesn't matter that that was only a credit against the employer tax. The law specifically states that those funds or those credits are going to reduce down the loan forgiveness. So in some regards, it's kind of, do you take it because it's just going to affect the loan forgiveness? But in some ways, if you think about it, it puts a little bit extra money in your pocket very temporarily, right? So if you have money here that you're supposed to use for payroll, okay, and you get a tax credit, so less has to leave your bank account, then you retain more money, okay? But then when it comes to forgiveness time, that little transaction there did save you in the moment, in that period of time, but you're gonna, it's gonna be recaptured. You're gonna pay it back when you get to the time to figure out your loan forgiveness. So it's kind of your call. I have a couple of clients. I think that they're desperate enough as it relates to their cash flow that they're probably going to go ahead and take the credit, just knowing that it's not going to count as a payroll cost at the end. Let's see. Daily health insurance for the sick leave. I want to break up the first. Yeah. So let's see. I don't. Is Tracy on? Tracy usually seems like she's on. Where are we at? 54 minutes. 54 minutes.
Yeah, she's on. She's
Oh, okay, awesome. And then here, I'll hand you your phone back, but let me look here real quick. Let's see. All right, what questions do we have that are on there? Anything related to EIDL? Just a quick note that $8,000 showed up in my client's bank account this morning. No prior notice. Wow, Carol, that's crazy. Yeah, crazy.
You can delete it. I just read that one to you.
Oh, okay. Let's see, do you have any clarification on applying for the ERC for the first quarter while having the PPP for the second quarter? Can I do both? In your ERC video at the time, I think you said we could do both because it's 2 separate quarters. Thanks for all you're doing, Lincoln T. Yeah, thank you, Lincoln. And let me know what video you watched, because I had a video that said you can do both, you're doing both, get after it. And then when the IRS came out on their website and said you can't do it, then I took those videos down and I put up new videos saying, well, the IRS needs to clarify the dates. The IRS needs to clarify how the ERC is going to be recaptured, ERC being the employee retention credit. So what I'm telling clients right now, and then in the videos that I've done that I think are the only ones that are up, is you do qualify for employee retention credit. And if you qualify, you can get the credit, okay? But at the end of the day, if you get PPP funds, then somehow you're gonna rectify the fact that you got ERC. I don't think that's fair. But what I need to know from the IRS is not only the effective date of that, but also how is it recaptured, right? So think of this, you take a $2,000 tax credit first quarter under the ERC, okay? So you get a $2,000 tax credit. You get $2,000 back from the IRS. Now it's time to rectify that. You have to recapture that. Well, do you have to pay $2,000 back? Like write a check? Do you have to pay $2,000 back on your 941 by July 31st? Or is it that $2,000 of your PPP funds won't be forgiven? And so depending on that, depends on your desperate measures. So like I said, I have 2 clients that if they can get the ERC, they get $2,000 in their pocket. And then if that now, in essence, reduces down what can be forgiven on their PPP, but they have 2 years to pay that out, they're probably gonna opt to do it. And I don't see anything incorrect with that, because you did qualify for it first quarter. You took a credit that you qualified for before you got your PPP funds. And I don't mean like physically got them, like you qualified before you got PPP, period. But the issue is, do we recapture? And then I'm just holding out hope. I think I'm probably me and 2 law firms that the IRS will come in and clarify and say, yes, it's only actually while you're using PPP funds, because it's not a double dip. People have said, oh, it's a double dip to do ERC and PPP. Well, not if you're doing ERC for first quarter and PPP for second quarter. So here's your takeaway, which I appreciate it, Lincoln. Your takeaway is wait and see. We need to wait and see. We need to get more clarification. Now, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna, there's no questions. Sarah got your book today. She says,
all right.
thank you. Manon got his t-shirt today that we mailed him. So
awesome. Thank you so much. I love it. Thanks for popping on. Thanks for letting us know.
Diana Beck from Allegro Tax Services is on today.
All right.
Partnership client that got funded today.
Oh,
guaranteed
good.
payments.
Yeah.
And foreign partners.
Guaranteed payments.
And foreign partners.
And foreign partners. Okay. Awesome.
Make sure that you guys are hitting the thumbs up button. And President is on right now talking about all of this. So I guess we will see what the highlights are from that. Some people are saying that they're going to vote for it tomorrow. And
Yeah, someone threw up a question I just got, which I was talking about at the beginning, and got a couple of videos up on it. Is, if you have a PPP app in at your bank, do not assume that they are resubmitting it. I don't even know by law they would resubmit it. Okay, because that is a loan. Okay, for all they know, you don't want it anymore. For all they know, you went to a different bank. So they are not going to, I can't imagine. Now, someone did separately state that the bank emailed them to say, hey, do you want to do PPP2? Because obviously they must have not gotten PPP1. So if your bank's doing that, awesome. I mean, how freaking awesome is that of that bank? So do not assume. If you went to Chase, I'm not going to tell you that you should leave Chase, okay? Because I don't want it to be then you went to another bank and you didn't get it, and maybe if you stayed at Chase you would have got it. So I'm not going to be able to answer questions on what bank you should go to, and should you leave the bank where you're at. But what I would say is, if you're at Chase, it's a big bank, so they're setting aside dollars for small businesses at small banks. Chase in the past was you had to have a lending relationship as well as an account with them. So I'm assuming if you applied, you must have had those. Rural banks are supposed to get some special preference. So I had said it earlier, which was just, maybe you get another banking relationship going today or tomorrow, get another bank account open up a business account, make sure it's a bank that's doing the PPP or did. Obviously, it needs to be bank that qualifies. So I would almost just kind of assume that you're starting over unless that bank contacts you. And if you got a contact, you should contact them, and then also make sure that it counts.
Nothing. We got them all. I mean, you can look at this, but people are just asking questions that you don't want to answer. Or that you're not going to answer.
All right. I think I saw some. Let's see. Seth Allen, can I pay the whole 8 weeks at once to the personal account? You guys rock. Thank you so much. Yeah, single, no employees, 100 cap. Nice. You probably want to double check with your bank, but all the banks I talk to here locally, because it's so easily determined with the line 31, which is just what was your line 31 divided by 52 times 8, that's the forgiveness amount. You can take it because there's nothing, from what we understand now, nothing else to provide, nothing else to prove. You don't have to spread it out over the 8 weeks. You can just pull it all. The only thing I'm not sure of, and I just don't really have an opinion on, is, well, when could you go and get federal unemployment? Because if you're pulling all the money now, is it supposed to, last, for 8 weeks? Kinda. It was kind of the intent of it. But if it's, now you have a wonderful Schedule C, so you're probably sitting better than some that have a low Schedule C. The one thing, to double check is whether or not, this next round of EIDL is if we might see some that would qualify for that. Let's see, Andrew Sitzer. Can you read Andrew's to me? I think he's asked it. The bank's insisting.
My bank insists on using 2019 for payroll calculation, even though you told us Q2, Q3, Q4 of 19 plus Q1 of 2020 was the right way, and the 2020 calculation is better for me.
Yeah, so, the banks are going to be your rule keeper on that. And if you go to the PPP long ago, I've got 2 calculations up there. On how to calculate if it's the last 12 months, if it's going to be 2019, and you still can use the last 12 months. The banks were using the last 12 months, and all the banks that I worked with used the last 12 months. The ones that we didn't use the last 12 months were clients that it was just easier because of other circumstances to just pull together 2019. So they're allowed to do either or. I mean, the SBA says either or, but these banks, they're making their own determinations and interpretations, and I'm not even saying that it's wrong per se, but at the end of the day, just letting you know, a long time ago, I did put up there, it's an either or. So once the SBA came out and said, you could do either or, which was April 3rd, I immediately got up there, new videos, additional videos, 2 different spreadsheets, 2 different calculations, 2 different, here's how you'd come up with it depending on how you want to do it. So if they're telling you 19, then you better just go with 19, and at this point there's probably no issue or that you're going to win at this point if the banks. So you could ask them again, but I'd hate for you to lose your place in line on that. So let's see.
Move up, Mike. I've been approved for PPP loan, which I've used for the next 8 weeks. My industry wedding is done for the summer. Can I still go apply for unemployment for March and April?
So on the unemployment, you're just going to have to go online. I don't believe that I have enough knowledge on the different states because it's supposed to be based on the federal, but then I've read that each state's interpreting the federal because they're the ones that are dispersing the funds through their website, if you will. So the best answer is just to go apply. Indicate what your circumstances are. Indicate when you stop getting paid, so to speak, or when you stop making money. So you'll just have to go and apply, answer all the questions, and then you'll get what it is that you get. Let's see. I do see another one. Let's see. Travel Gal. Hey, JJ, Stephanie from yesterday. PPP. And hang on.
Let's see.
That was my daughter calling. You can tell her.
And Jean McIntyre says, thank you. I received my care package.
All right.
Timothy, he just talked about if you can get an EIDL loan and unemployment, if you can do both. He just answered that for somebody else.
Yeah, and just to be clear on the EIDL, if you can show it's for other things, then, that's a possibility, okay? It depends on when you got it. That's my understanding. If you got it April 3rd or before, and you're able to show it's for purposes other than payroll, it seemed like if it was after April 4th, it was for payroll because it was, $1,000 for each employee. So if you're the only employee, then once you've used up your grand, then it seems like you could go and get the unemployment. But the unemployment, all I would say on that is go apply, see what questions they asked for, and let's see. And then someone said, I applied for EIDL but never received an email confirmation and the funds. Should I apply again? I'm going to say yes, but, I'm just going to say yes. I don't really want to try and guide you in other than they're getting ready to replenish it. As far as I know, the website's, still indicating that the funds are lapsed. And so go to sba.gov and you can apply. The only thing is I probably want to make sure that those dollars were able to be replenished, because I'm hoping that maybe since they're doing another 60 billion into the EIDL, that it'll go back to the 10 grand and not just 1,000 per employee. So you probably want to check, the timing of when you're applying for that. Sorry about that. What else you got?
Chase says we got an offer, $35,000 for the EIDL. Is there going to be more offered to me once the new funds go through?
Well, I'm not sure on that because the EIDL advance is 10 grand. Then you can get another 25,000 on the SBA, which is in essence a portion of that you're going to have to pay back. And so that's out of the realm of the PPP, the EIDL advance. And so what was the second part of that question? Or did you lose it?
Are there going to be more offered to me once their new funds come through?
Oh, I don't know. If you can qualify for PPP, then you can qualify for PPP, but you would probably need to check with the SBA lender. I don't know of anything to preclude you from filing for PPP if it comes about. And then we haven't really actually seen it. If it's going to go to the House still, I don't know that a deal's actually been done, so we'll have to wait and see on that one.
Nancy H. Says first off that her husband said that the t-shirt arrived in New York yesterday. She's stuck in Florida. So
okay.
I'm glad you
awesome.
got a shirt.
Awesome.
There was nothing in box 4A on my K1, only 1 in 14. Is this because I didn't do my SE form?
Oh, no, that's just because there wasn't a guaranteed payment. So there's no problem that there wasn't anything in 4A. 4A is almost the same as line 14 or box 14. So no, nothing required to be in that. We're talking about the K1 on the partnership.
Thank you, Tina, for fielding questions and answering them. You're awesome. And I made it to the top of my chat. I couldn't go back any further. So, Stone Solutions says they just applied online with PayPal, and it took them about 20 minutes from opening a new account and submitting the PPP loan, because they just can't rely on Chase this time. So,
wow, so someone already, so someone's already applied, huh?
yeah, PayPal
Thank you,
apparently
Nancy.
has opened. Yeah, that's
Wow.
me. Says got your book. Love the large font.
Thank
Can't
you.
wait to read it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Wow,
Chase.
Cabbage is taking applications too.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Well, thank you for the info.
Yeah. Oh, they said Card Shop Reality says PayPal started last week.
Okay. So they're just maybe loading up on the applications. Hopefully they go through. You know, PayPal and Intuit and Square and probably Cabbage, you know, they're just used to doing everything online and not having the banks. Okay, someone here, Kathleen, I'm online right now applying through PayPal.
That's awesome. Michael says
Boom.
BP2 equals JJ2. Keep up the good work. Gotta run. We'll listen later. Peace
Thank
out.
you so much. Thank you. Let's see, Travel Gal started to answer and must have got interrupted. Someone had a question, will round 2 favor the high net worth? Well, it's supposed to be not the case. Let's see, Fred's saying that I think now this bank I applied at didn't require a relationship, is now saying they are putting their existing customers, for prior and the cutoff last week for funds running out. Gotcha. And then let's see.
Christina says, I love the live sessions. They're so helpful.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, and thumbs up on this. That just helps other people see it. Even after we end the live, if there's extra thumbs up, it puts it in a different part of the feed. And I don't think there's any monetization when I go live.
No,
there's no monetization. So the thumbs up isn't anything from trying to monetize more on it. And then do ask though that you subscribe. Thank you. Nancy said she ordered both books.
Aw, thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Nancy.
Tracy says one of our LLCs has a previous SBA loan. One of the SBA website, on the SBA website, one of the categories says they will pay the principal interest for 6 months as part of their aid. Have you heard anything about this?
The short answer is yes. And in terms of paying the interest, it'd be better for them to probably ask, because I'm probably now getting ready to tell you just based on what I've read and what I can remember, to be honest with you. But it's not so much that it's paid, it's almost like it's frozen. So I have a client that is getting that, okay, and they're not paying the interest, okay? So I don't know if my client's is the same as yours client. What's happening is, it's just that for 6 months it's frozen. 6 months it doesn't grow, no interest is added, no payments is due. So it almost think of it like, we're on April 20th, and then when we wake up tomorrow, okay, what would have happened to that loan? Nothing really. I mean, I guess a day of interest. So that's just happening, but for the 6 month window. That's my understanding, that not actually paid. Now, there's also when you're getting an SBA loan, of course you're saying here's what it's used for, but it has nothing to do with forgiveness and you can only use it for these certain amounts. It might be that it's part of that qualification. So they had to have been dealing with a lender, like an actual banker. So I definitely would inquire of that.
Stephen Haas from Backyard Barbecue
All right.
is online.
What's up, Stephen?
They sent us the nicest email today.
Thank you so much.
With a picture of them, and they actually were so sweet, and they complimented my hair and said they loved my hair.
Nice, I love it.
So,
and they've got the koozies.
Yeah.
And using the koozies, so I love it. I love it.
It says I think if you scroll out, and
Yeah.
go up, it says they received their EIDL funds today.
Oh, awesome. All right, well, congratulations. I will tell you this, Stephen, if you didn't get the full 10,000 EIDL, and I'll be doing some videos on this, but when they do more EIDL money, I'd get in there and apply again. They may ask you the exact same questions. They may say, oh, you've already applied, or don't send you any money. But my hope is, okay, so Stephen's saying 7. Oh, okay, gotcha. I'd still apply again. Maybe get that other 3. It'll ask you for the number of employees, again, most likely. They're gonna have you in the system. If you don't qualify, you don't qualify. Yeah, Christina, good job. I love it on the 1,000. Christina, same thing. Once they say that the EIDL's been replenished, I would go ahead and do it again. Okay, and then see, Alex, I have, this will look like a good question, so I think I want to get to this one. Alex, go ahead.
I have 2 businesses that I applied for EIDL, one sole proprietor, and the second one's an S Corp only. Receive funds for the S Corp. Can you not receive for both?
Let's see. So, okay, we're talking about the EIDL. No, you should have received it on both. It's per, you bet. Thank you. It is per ID number. The only thing that may have caused there to be a situation is the money just ran out on one of them. I mean, I know that you may have probably applied for them at the same time. I do have clients that have been applying for 2 different businesses. Now, I don't know if one was a sole proprietor and one was an S Corp.
Yeah.
No, for my client. Yeah, for my client. Here's all I would say is when they replenish this thing, get in there and apply again for the one, for whatever business didn't get it. But they have 2 different distinct purposes, 2 different distinct businesses, so each should have worked. Someone had a question. It's an interesting one. As a landlord, I have one tenant who cannot pay. The state has put a hold on the evictions. Is there a way, any help on her behalf? I would like to keep her. So any help on her behalf? Yeah, interesting on that one. You know, there was talk about, and I've not seen anything written up, but there was talk about providing aid to these circumstances, but I haven't seen anything about it. So once we get the details, we'll see. But it actually, when there was like speculation going on, the speculation was, would there be funding for the real estate? But let me tell you this, because it's the same thing in some regards. So if you, let's see, Rick Adams, if you did not apply for the EIDL, okay, as soon as they replenish this thing, go and apply. Okay, it's going to ask how many employees they are. If it's the same question, say 1, right? Because that's what it is. You'll put down your gross rents, and then when it says COGS, assuming that's the same question that it asks, you're putting your total expenses. So the SBA said, yeah, even though it says COGS, you just put your total expenses. You don't need to include depreciation. There's no real wrong answer in any of it, meaning it's like, well, should I do this much or that much? Now, for some reason, if your Schedule E is under your Social Security number, then you're going to apply for this one time. And, the total of all your Schedule E revenue and all your expenses is what you would want to put in there. I don't want to say it's a formality like you could just totally make it up. And let's see, gotta go. Hey, to the show. All right, we'll see you. Thank you so much. But when they replenish that EIDL, I would definitely get in there and apply for it. If you happen to have your entity set up as single member LLCs, but more to that point of your circumstances, they'd be called disregarded entities. So you can apply for each EIN, and you'd be able to put 1 employee on each, and then what is the revenue and the expense of that. So get after the EIDL. That helps you. It doesn't help your renter. Now, I do know some states, which I don't know which ones, are providing assistance in that regard, but it's going to the landlord, which is a good thing, meaning it's not going to the tenant and then they're crossing their fingers, it goes to the landlord. So the Urban Housing Authority.
Yeah, and then I would also have if you have tenants that or people, if you know people that are in these situations, I would really encourage them to reach out to the Department of Human Services, because SNAP benefits, which is the food stamp program, as well as TANF's benefits have all been maxed out, as well as the WIC program. So make sure that if you do know people that are in those situations, that they are taking advantage of the resources that are out there. I'm sure that they're helping with rent and utilities as well. So anyways, JYL Thompson says, thank you so much for keeping us informed and lighting a fire under our butts to advocate for ourselves.
I love it, I love it, I love it. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Real quick, someone, Mo Sal applied for unemployment as an independent contractor and PPP. So if you get the PPP, the way I understand it is it's there to cover the payroll that you're losing, and therefore you would be double dipping, so to speak, on the unemployment. However, it does seem the states are just inconsistent. So all I can say is if you applied and you get the benefits, if PPP comes in, then check with the state. The qualifications should be the same everywhere, but they are in essence related to the qualifications. They're differing state to state. Let's see. Someone said, I'm speaking in regards to the PPP app, by the way. So I don't know the rest of your question there. See, my bank told me I had conditional approval. If government approves the funding, they will forward my application to SBA. Does that mean I have a chance? I don't know which one it is. Okay, what are you saying, that it's a PPP? So on that right now, all I can tell you is there is no PPP money right now. If you have put in application for PPP and they're talking about PPP2, I would follow up with them. Don't take anything I'm telling you to have any authority, because that banker, you need to stay on them. And I mean stay on them, make zero assumptions, follow up. Even when PPP2 rolls around, I would have them in an email or a definite answer to you that you don't need to do a new application, that they don't need a new signature, that they don't need new documents, that they are putting you in on PPP, that you are 100% assured there's zero room for any kind of assumptions here. So I know you're asking the question for some reassurance, but I'm just saying, get that reassurance from the banker. Make sure that they're really going to be the ones that get this through. Wow, got PPP today. Thank you guys. Awesome, Greg. I love it. I love it. Rick Adams, same boat as Alexis. Let's see. Something about, so if you, just so you know, y'all, if you have questions in here, so I'm going to answer the one thing I'm going to answer related to unemployment. So I see a lot of questions here on unemployment. So I'm a CPA, I do taxes. The only reason I'm familiar with unemployment is that it's in the CARES Act. The only thing I'm aware of in the CARES Act is that we have the pandemic unemployment. And in that, if you're self-employed or a sole proprietor or a business owner, you qualify for it. However, it is there to replace, basically your paycheck that you've lost, so to speak. So if you don't get PPP, you don't get EIDL, then this would be a set of circumstances that, the pandemic unemployment insurance, you would obviously qualify for. I can't speak to, if I got PPP, can I get PUI? Because I don't know what your state says about it. It does seem like it's a double benefit to you, but I don't know what your PPP amount is. I don't know if the PPP is for you or your employees. And so anyways, all I'm saying on unemployment is you're just going to have to either go apply. You need to stop asking. So I say this with all due respect. Stop asking around about unemployment and go apply for it. Because here's the thing to know. When you go apply, if you don't qualify, they're going to make for certain you don't get it. So if PPP has an effect on it in your state, then they should be asking you about it. They should be asking, did you receive any assistance? Did you get an SBA amount? Did you get something under 7A? So as long as you're just going through the questions and you're answering them, then you need to do it. Same thing with PPP. Whether it's related to the forgiveness, okay? As it relates to, can I do this? As it relates to, should I put another application in? As it relates to really anything, the encouragement here is, I have no say on anything. I appreciate you wanting to ask, and don't take this the wrong way. take it as me really forcefully telling you to go and talk to that freaking bank that's going to make 5% off your money. Make them work. I know that we have a tendency in general, like going back to any time, we talk with banks and we think, well, if I say this or if I ask that, then maybe they're not going to do this. And we kind of treat bankers sometimes like we're going to the principal's office. I don't want to admit anything. I don't know if I should ask that because then they say this. And same thing with the governmental agency. So all I can say is on the unemployment, go apply. I mean, it doesn't matter what I say because I do know other CPAs right now are getting, their clients are upset with them because they're saying, well, you told me I couldn't do this or you told me that I could do this. And the CPAs are saying, well, I mean, at the time, these were the rules. The banks interpreted it differently. Your bank asked for something different. They changed the rules on the 6th. They added to the rules on the 8th. They changed the rules for sole proprietors on the 14th. So this is why what's so important for you to check with the bank is that that's the person that's going to oversee your forgiveness. Now, I was a little disappointed. A couple of CPAs have sent me loan agreements from other banks, and they've indicated in there, the banks have, that they're not going to provide any advice. They're not going to tell you anything. If they do tell you something, it's going to be in their favor, blah, 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 blah. But I did point out to one of the CPAs, I said, hey, listen, I think that's more about the calculation. So, if you're needing help with the calculation, the bank should be giving you their calculator. They should be giving you their worksheet, okay? I've got it up, but mine's just straight from the law. You have to fill in the blanks. The bank should be giving you a list. Now, I know a number of them don't want to give out that information just yet, so keep asking your bank. The thing to note is that you can't really do it wrong if you don't mean to do it wrong. And if you do something, for lack of a better word, wrong, and it doesn't count, then you just have to pay some of it back, right? That's it. And when in doubt, then don't do it. Well, can I give could I hire my kiddo? Sure, I can. Well, I don't know that PPP will work for it. You're going to have to run the scenario. You're going to have to run your chop up your information and then run the numbers, right? So there's no reason to even ask. Get the formula from your bank and start putting numbers in there, and then see how it falls out. Because here's the thing: if you do need the person, and it just happens to be your daughter or your son or your uncle or your mom, you need the person, right? Someone's out on unemployment, someone's sick, you got to hire somebody else, right? So. Let's see. Now, someone here, I guess it's Natalie Jordan. Help. I'm a hairstylist, independent contractor. Am I qualified to receive PPP or EDD? I've tried but got nothing, email or dollar. So right now everything's dry. Okay, so what you need to do is, it's now your full-time job between now and Friday. You're going to do nothing, Natalie, nothing but pay attention to whatever bank you're at to know about PPP, because the answer is yes, you qualify. You need a Schedule C for 2019. What is it? Go to irs.gov, put in Schedule C, there it is. How do I fill it out? I've got a couple of videos. Your videos confuse me. Then get some software. You're gonna need a Schedule C. The money will be gone very quickly. You have no room for excuses now. You've been told. It's at your bank, you're gonna get PPP. That's it. Now go figure it out. Go figure it out. Now, the reason I'm saying that is for somebody that right now doesn't know what to do and they're saying help, then take this as you better figure it out. And you just got it figured out. You just got your answer. Don't put it on Facebook. Don't start asking a bunch of other questions should I do this? Yes, you qualify. What do you need to qualify? Schedule C for 2019, period. That's what you need, period. I don't have one. Go to irs.gov. You put in Schedule C. There's the form. You look at it. What do? I got 2 videos on how to go ahead and do it, or you can go get your own software, and it's real simple. What's your income? What are your expenses? You're done. There you go. Whatever you put together, you got to file at the IRS. You got to get the application from the bank. I've got a copy of it on my website, but maybe there's going to be new ones. You can have it all done within the hour. You now need to get from the bank your PPP money, okay? You hearing me? You go to the bank to get your PPP. So it's 4:30 here. I don't know where you are. You need to call your bank. You need to go to the website. Do they have a portal? It's 5:30? Okay. It's 5:30 here. And then on the EIDL, there's none of it available right now, but you go to sba.gov when it's available. Okay? So the reason that I'm like really trying to encourage you is now you know, and you need to go get it. Because if you wait till Friday to start the process, you won't get it. You wait till Thursday, you won't get it. You wait till tomorrow to get rolling on it, you're almost going to miss the race, because this is going to get signed into law Wednesday or Thursday. And you need to know this: there are 1 million people in line in front of you at banks. So go talk to the bank and figure out what it is that you need to do with them. Ask them where you are in line. Maybe you go look at PayPal, but start solving it. There's nothing else that matters now. Nothing else matters. There's nothing else more important than you solving this right now. You've got the keys to it, how to unlock the door. Now go do it. Go do it. And if you watch any of my videos, you know that I have a number of videos that are like this, that is to encourage you and to say, I get it, it's out of your realm. This is completely out of your realm. So stop being confused and stop asking for help, because you just got it, okay, from JJ the CPA. And if you didn't like how I served it, I don't care, because what you did take away from this is I better go do it, okay? So this is I'm gonna have to do another string of videos, which is no one should be asking questions right now, in the sense of you get a PPP app, you get it to the bank. People right now are going to PayPal. Set up an account at PayPal right now. Go to do the PPP, get it done. I need a Schedule C. You can have it done in 30 minutes. Get it done, get it over with. Make sure that you qualify, okay? All right. Trying to help people. It's like the doctor that's saying, here's what you need to do, now go do it. It's the coach. All right. Nothing else? We done?
I do believe that we are done.
Let's see. Do they need both pages of the Schedule C or just the first one? Brian, you know, if you have any other expenses, I would give them both pages. I don't know that they really care, but you might as well have it. So if you've got any of the other expense, I would put that down there for you. Let's see. Adam, we are willing to work 24/7 until we get our PPP. I can't seem to get this to stay.
He just says we are willing to work 24/7 until we get our PPP, but we have a pending application with Bank of America, and they tell us nothing.
Yeah, maybe go and, it's like I said earlier with somebody, I mean, leave the app in there. Hopefully you're in line, but, at this point, I mean, I can't vouch for PayPal or any of these companies. I have no idea, okay? I have no idea. But there's people right now saying they're setting up an account at PayPal. They're filling out the PPP. Now know this, they may be loading up on the applications. It doesn't mean anything in the sense of there is no money. The only way that PayPal is going to be able to do this is they get money, which I'm sure they would. They may run out of money, okay? So don't necessarily look at it as, well, if I did PayPal, I'm good now. So maybe you leave it at Bank of America. I know you say you're not hearing nothing. Email, call the 1-800 number, like Google it, call numbers, call phone numbers. I did have someone that told me that they followed my advice. And thank you, Natalie. I'm glad that came across properly.
Yeah, I was just about to read that.
Okay, thanks, Natalie. Hey, I have a lot of clients that are hairstylists, and they love it when I'm just like, listen, you got to get this done. You are empowering yourself. Go do it. But
For Anita from Backyard Barbecue, we want you all to come to our backyard.
I love it. So don't just count on Bank of America. I mean, I'm just telling you, like, if you're at Chase, you're at Bank of America, I've heard good things about Citi. If you're at one of the bigger banks, I would first be concerned, because we're hearing that these dollars are getting allocated to the smaller banks. It may not even be that bank qualifies. So I really appreciate everybody saying they're going to PayPal already, because at the beginning of this, I'm like, head over to the rural bank and be like, hey, I need to get me one of their accounts, because if you're going to a rural bank, you got to sound like you fit in. And I don't know about you, but the rural banks around here are freaking awesome. And if I walked in, I'd be like, howdy, y'all need a new customer, because I need to set me up a new account. And then I realized, guess what? They're not even open. So if we, did you answer all emails? Gene, yes. We have so many emails related to unemployment. Was there one, Gene? Thank you, Natalie. I appreciate that. Was there one that we missed of yours, Gene? We do have an auto reply going out that if it's a specific question related to.
No, we asked James. James was saying that after not hearing from Chase Bank, until it was too late on the first round, what if I applied to other lenders such as PayPal?
She wants to know if she should file to other lenders. Oh yeah, I would go. Probably already answered it. Can you just read it one more time? I got distracted.
After not hearing from Chase Bank until it was too late on the first round, what if I applied to other lenders such as PayPal?
Yeah, Gene, I probably wouldn't get carried away. I definitely think you should go to PayPal. I mean, I just think you need to set up an account with them. I don't think it guarantees anything. Chase seems to have been the worst offender. Now, I know Chase said, hey, we had this many applications, we have this many customers, we have this many people working on it. So don't get me wrong, I don't know that Chase is like purposely not trying to get things done. Now, I tell you what, they need a big old whooping, take them down to backyard barbecue and clear out the backyard barbecue and give them a nice 1955 pull a switch from the tree nearby, like a whooping, because they required you to have a lending relationship. Thank you, I appreciate that. Tina's leaving?
Tina's leaving.
All right, thanks Tina for everything. We really appreciate it. So anyways, Gene, it sounds like, PayPal might be a good option for you. Mo Sal, thank you so much. Tune in again tomorrow. Yeah, we're wrapping up. So I did see someone said, hey, where do we apply? Go to the show. Yeah, we're gonna run applications. We had originally said April 30th. We may cut it off sooner than that. We started to go through the applications on Saturday and we got distracted with some other things that were going on. And we've got the applications at JJ the CPA. So here's
Look at all them.
Here's the applications that we have so far. Put them in a tab there. But JJ the CPA, help.com, and then there's a page called Show. So if you want to fill out the application on that. All right, did we get everything?
We got everything.
Let me peruse this real quick. Gosman, yes, absolutely, I recommend the EIDL. If you didn't get the full 10K, I say apply again.
Hard Shop Reality, you won't be here tomorrow. What else could
What?
you possibly have
Oh
to
my
do
gosh.
besides be with us? I'm just heartbroken.
Let's see, Trish, the K1 negative shouldn't affect EIDL because it's, last I knew it was based on employees, but then before that it was just based on are you in business and, have you made some money? Let's see, Tina, do you agree with me that they should not apply at multiple lenders? Yes, Tina, I agree with you. And what I was saying earlier was if you're going to go to another lender, okay, you can get all the info in with them, but you want to be careful that you aren't letting them apply for you unless you've withdrawn your other application. So you can start the process, right? You can go on 2 different dates. But you want to be careful. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Daniel said for the next 2 hours now Amanda speaks. Have a good night.
Okay, done. I love it. I love it. Let's see.
JJ is your favorite CPA.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. Really, 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 really appreciate that.
Paul Buckle, one of the bright spots about this whole ordeal has been getting to meet JJ the CPA. Thanks for all your help.
Well,
JJ,
thank you.
You are our hero.
Wow, you're making my day, making me blush. Thank you so much for that. I really, really appreciate that. It means a lot. Just filled out 2 PPP apps. All right. All right, Gene, we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow.
First on today.
All right.
All right, you guys.
I emailed my employee if and when we receive PPP, come back to work. Few of them replied. They'd rather stay on employment. Would hiring new employees cause any problems with the banks? Alex, no on that, just from the standpoint that as long as you're not increasing the payroll, then you're not going to have any issues. If you're replacing, thank you, Alan. I appreciate it. Nancy, thank you so much. That's where you would have an issue, in my opinion. You know, and honestly, when I just say an issue, all I mean is that you would potentially not have some of your money forgiven. That's all. I mean, you can get PPP money, you can hire new employees. All it's going to come down to is, at the end of the day, will all of it get forgiven? That's okay. And if not all of it gets forgiven, that's okay. But yes, if you don't have people coming back, you can replace them, and hopefully you don't find someone better, because that other person should have come back. Let's see, Trish, my partner and I own a small jewelry store, 0 employees. We'll be applying for EIDL when posted. My Schedule K is negative. Yeah, hurting our chances. Nope. So just go ahead and get that EIDL in. I would wait until we know that it's been replenished, which I don't think they would even put it back online until it's been replenished. But if for some reason it's open tonight.
Thank you, Darkwater Megs.
Thank you, Jason.
Everybody, I'll give him a big shout out. I'm so proud of him, because he took my advice and he opened up an Instagram account. So you guys go follow him.
Oh, nice.
Darkwater Megs. He's got some amazing stuff that's going to be coming out. So go check that out.
Let's see, Dan. I did answer earlier about the PPP and unemployment. Let's see. Nope, Pam, those expenses won't count. The law doesn't allow any of that. It's just your rent and utilities and interest, payroll. Christina, let's see, thank you. All right, Move Up with Mike got 1K EIDL today. I'm glad for that. I wish it was more. And hey, Move Up with Mike, if you're still on, when they replenish it, go reapply. I think you should go reapply. This is going to be a great week. Koozies in the mail from JJ Card Shop. Got the 1K pending. Love it. Let's see. Yeah, Kelly, my bank initially said existing clients only could apply for PPP, but then the website says taking applications from non-clients. Kelly, I mean, honestly, I don't know that I would trust it. I don't want to tell you not to do it, and then it would have been the better choice for you. But I mean, we've got people on right now. Thank you, Jason. We got people on right now that applied with a bank they'd been with for 20 years and then didn't get it. So no offense to that bank, but I don't know that I would do it. I'd find it, either the bank you're with, or maybe you'd be better off with PayPal or.
I think it's not Natalie. It's I don't even know how to pronounce it.
I'm pronouncing it wrong. I'm sorry.
But anyways, I just wanted to say that she just applied at PayPal.
Nice. There. Look at that. Aren't you glad you came on today? Like boom, and she heard me. I was like, do it now, and she did it. So
yeah,
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Nicely done. Nicely done. Look at that. Boom. Let's see. Seasonal employer. We talked about that. Dulce. Money's probably going to go quicker this time. Some banks, yep, this is probably people talking with each other, talking amongst themselves. All right, let's see. I'm loving this. ProStone Solutions. Timothy White. I'll tell you this right now, Timothy. Still waiting on either one to be approved. Don't just assume you're in line for either one. If you didn't hear anything on EIDL, as soon as it's replenished, boom, be reapplying on the PPP. If you've not gotten the money and you haven't gotten assurances of it being approved, then apply again. Maybe if you're at a larger bank, check it out. So you're in that very frustrating spot. So don't stay there in the sense of we got more money coming. So be pushy, reapply, make sure people are doing what it is that they need to be doing for you. And I think I got up as far as I can go. And then we got all of the emails. Let's see, was there any emails that just came in the last 10 minutes that we could knock out? Let's see, Isaac. Okay, PayPal done, love it. And let's see, thank you, I appreciate that. It's not, you don't think it's Natalie?
No.
Nathalie?
Nathalie.
Nathalie, I'm loving that. All right, I have applied for PPP on 4/4. On the application, it asked if I got an EIDL before 4/3, but I applied for it on 3/30. I just got the EIDL advance. Do I have to create a new PPP app? I'll tell you what, Isaac, if I would ask the bank, number one. Number two, if you didn't get PPP money, then I think you would want to do a new app, but talk to the bank, because honestly, if they are going to dilly-dally with you, the EIDL, if you use it for other purposes besides payroll, disclose it to them, ask them, do I need a new application? Maybe you send them a new application. You want to make sure you don't lose your spot in line. So that's one that I really would like you to get your bank to give you an answer on. And I'll tell you this right now, the safest thing that is have an application ready to go, updated, indicated. If they ask you later, which I doubt they would, you say, well, I did apply for it, but I never got it. And I was, according to everybody in the world, it wasn't coming. And then all of a sudden it showed up. So maybe have a new app ready to go. Check with your bank, check with your bank, check with your bank. Let's see.
No more emails.
Okay.
Just for your address.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. Someone said something about 2 hours. We only been going for 2 hours. Any more emails we can pound through? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's see. Jeff will probably be the last one here. Last two. What if I have multiple Schedule Cs as an independent contractor? Do I only need to submit my 1099s? Jeff, here's the deal on that. You will submit only one PPP unless they change the rules. The 1099s would be only if you don't file a Schedule C. If you file a Schedule C or plan to file a Schedule C, which you can get at irs.gov, then you need to get that done. And if you have multiple Schedule Cs, which maybe you have, then you just combine them all together. It'd be all combined line 31s. But because they're all in your social, that's one PPP. And then the banks initially were doing 1099s, but there are a few banks that loaned out too much, and so there's going to be some repercussions there, just in terms of not as much forgiven. Number one. Number two, the only way they would take 1099s is if you're not filing Schedule C, but my understanding is they're wanting a Schedule C. So even if you're not taking expenses, you would have your 1099s, it would be the amount on box 1, and then you have a Schedule C done, boom, but it would need to be the same as what you filed with the IRS. Yes, Trish, banks can't help with the EIDL. Now that's on the advance, okay? Now if you're getting the advanced 10K, now if you're gonna get the SBA Express, which is the next step, that is through an SBA lender, but not the EIDL advance. So if you go to the SBA website, sba.gov website right now, you'd find on EIDL, there is nothing. It should say funds have lapsed. But then if you look further for other options, there's an SBA Express 25K, and that's no collateral, no guarantee. You still have to qualify it. They do a credit check on that one. So let's see. We don't have a number in 4, only in 1 and 14. Okay. So Vernita, on box 4, that's the guaranteed payments. So the way that I read the SBA, and do this, would you go to my website? There's no benefit to me if you do, but jjthecpahelp.com, go to the forgiveness page, because that's where I've got it. Look for the SBA guidance at the bottom. It's dated 4/14, in red, dated 4/14. Read on there about the partnerships. And the only reason I'm saying that is when you go to your bank, you might need that in hand, okay? And my interpretation of it was that if you have box 14 on your Schedule K1 from a partnership, that would be then included in the determination of PPP at the partnership level. But that, when you think about it, that came out on the 14th. Money was gone within 24 to 48 hours of that. So I don't really know how that got put into play, other than I know banks were already including box 4, which is the guaranteed payments, up in there. So check with your tax advisor about the guaranteed payments. See if it would make sense to do a guaranteed payment. It probably doesn't. But at the same time, check with your advisor. and then check with your bank, because my interpretation is box 4 and 14 would be included, but the banks that were already including the partnership K1 activity, they were only including box 4. So we need a clarification on that for sure. If you don't have a box 4 and you have nothing but a partnership, you have nothing else in your picture, all you have is a partnership, that's it, nothing else. And all you have is box 1 and box 14 and nothing else. Fill out a PPP app, put that box 14 on there, divide it by 12 times 2.5 for your loan, get it to the bank, give them the K1, circle box 14, give them a copy of that SBA if need be that I just directed you to, and see if it goes, because my interpretation is that it would. But yeah, remember, I'm not at your bank. I don't know. And then when we go to round 2, maybe the rules are slightly different. I don't think so. But at the end of the day, if that's all you have, then why not give it a whirl? And you should also be looking at the EIDL. Let's see. We got more people?
No, just, woo. That was a dirty comment. Anyways, Natalie's name is pronounced Natalie.
All
It's
right.
just spelled in a French way
I
because
love
her
it.
parents are French.
All right. Well, I love it. I looked at that for a while before I pronounced it the first time, and I thought, you know what? I could see that.
Well, you
All right. Well, I can't keep to go up. I have a feeling we're close to getting a Kid Rock similar lyric soon.
Because you've never met a CPA quite like JJ.
I love it. I love it.
You
All
guys
right.
rock. We so appreciate you guys.
Yes.
Please-
Thank you for tuning in. We'll be on tomorrow at 4, and we'll answer any other emails that are coming through. Emails that are related to PPP2. Thank you, Brian. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Card Shop. We will, new information we have on PPP2, we'll be bringing it. I'll be shooting videos on anything that I know as we go along. So here's the takeaway for everybody, is that thank you, coaches, Pit Barbecue. If you're going for PPP2, ProStone, thank you so much. Make sure your bank's gonna qualify, okay? And there we go, daily briefing from JJ the CPA. Thank you, Trish, thank you, Gene. Make sure your bank's gonna qualify, okay? It's going to the small banks, it's going to the rural banks. Doesn't sound like Bank of America. Thank you, Tony. See you tomorrow, thank you, yes. PayPal sounds like an option. But at the same time, don't assume, thank you, Leroy, do not assume that just because, thank you, Mike, thank you, Natalie. How about S Corporation loan out, stuntman can also apply. Natalie, only based on the wages inside the S Corp. That's all that counts. Thank you, Clay from Boston. I appreciate you. Tiffany P, thank you. So don't assume that your application sitting at the bank from PPP1, don't assume it qualifies for PPP2. Can you hang on 1 minute? Wrapping up. Let's see. Tiffany P, thank you. I really appreciate that. Tracy, thank you so much. Have a good night too. So we'll see where we are tomorrow. Maybe it's been passed. It sounds like the House is going to have to maybe have to have their 2 cents on it. So thank you, Brian. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I really, really appreciate that. Al Powell. I'm an Uber driver, filed 2019 so far. No 1,200 deposit. To have a great difficulty finding where to get the PPP filed. I'm a sole prop or an independent contractor. If you filed a Schedule C, you're a sole proprietor. I've got 2 videos for you there, my friend. Go to my videos and you can look under PPP self-employed or just look through my videos. You will find an Uber logo on the video. Thank you, Brent. And I've got a video for you, so go listen. I got 2 videos for you specifically for Uber and Lyft drivers. So go watch those, Al. It'll answer all your questions, guaranteed. So, all right, well, thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all the thumbs up. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's probably just the biggest thank you you can give me is to subscribe. I really, really appreciate it. Al, go look on my YouTube page, JJ the CPA. Go find them. In the thumbnail, it says YouTube. I mean, it says It says Uber. I've made it as obvious as it possibly can be in the thing. You're just gonna have to scroll. You're just gonna have to go find them, my buddy, my friend. I did them for you. I'm looking out for you. 2 videos back to back. All right, thanks again. See you tomorrow, Jason. Really appreciate it. Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much.